Meet Nick Irving. He's not your average guy. On the surface, he's calm, composed, and you might even think he's just another laid-back dad. But let's dig a little deeper. This guy has 33 confirmed sniper kills under his belt, and who knows how many more that are, well, a bit more mysterious. Ready to dive into a story that's got more action than a blockbuster movie? The man who turned sniping into an art form. But first, let's rewind the tape and see where it all began. Nick wasn't always this cool and collected. In fact, if you met him a few years back, you might have encountered a totally different person. A guy with a bit of a short fuse. But something happened that changed everything: the birth of his son. Yep, fatherhood has a funny way of transforming you in the toughest characters. Early life. Let's talk about his story in detail. Picture this: February 11, 1989, in the bustling city of Dallas, Texas. It's a crisp winter morning and a new bundle of joy is making his grand debut. Enter Nick Irving, destined to become a legend, but at this point just a cute, chubby-cheeked kid with dreams bigger than his baby shoes. Nick's childhood was the quintessential American experience, full of adventure, mischief, and a whole lot of sports. Imagine a young Nick darting through the neighborhood, a blur of energy as he tackles every challenge that comes his way. Football, basketball, you name it. Nick was like a mini whirlwind on the field, always in the thick of the action. Now let's talk about his sports prowess. If there was a game, Nick was probably the MVP. His athleticism wasn't just about scoring points, it was about making the game fun and competitive. He wasn't just playing, he was living his best life, always with a twinkle in his eye and a competitive streak that hinted at the future sniper he'd become. But here's where things get interesting. While most kids were dreaming of becoming astronauts or rock stars, young Nick was fascinated by a different kind of hero: the military. He'd spend hours glued to the TV, watching documentaries about tactical warfare and special ops missions. It was like he had a front row seat to a show that would later become his reality. Fast forward a bit, and we find Nick in school, a place where he was just as determined as he was on the field. He wasn't just hitting the books, he was setting goals and dreaming big. You could say that school was his training ground for the adventures to come. His teachers probably thought he was a bit of a daydreamer, but little did they know, those daydreams were about to turn into real-life action. Nick's early years were filled with a mix of typical childhood activities and some pretty extraordinary interests. From building epic forts in the backyard to devouring every book on military strategy he could find, he was a kid who liked to mix a little fun with a lot of ambition. His friends probably knew him as the one who always had a new plan or a crazy idea, and they weren't wrong. By the time he hit his teenage years, Nick was no longer just the kid with big dreams. He was the teenager with a mission. While most of us were figuring out what to wear to prom, Nick was busy making plans for his future. Plans that included joining the military and becoming a real-life hero. His family, of course, was supportive, but probably couldn't help but wonder just how far their son's dreams would take him. And then, at 17, Nick took the leap. He traded high school for high stakes and enlisted in the Army. Talk about a bold move. While his peers were gearing up for graduation, Nick was gearing up for boot camp. It was like he jumped straight from the pages of a military thriller into the real deal. Little did anyone know, this was just the beginning of an epic journey. From playing sports in the neighborhood to setting his sights on military glory, Nick's journey was just getting started. Stay tuned as we dive into his military training and the incredible missions that followed. Ready for the next chapter? Hit that subscribe button and join us as we continue exploring the amazing life of Nick Irving. Trust us, you won't want to miss what comes next. The making of Sniper. We're about to dive into the next thrilling chapter of Nick Irving's story. If you thought his childhood was epic, just wait until you see what happens when he steps into the world of boot camp. Spoiler alert, it's as intense as a roller coaster ride with a few twists and turns. So picture this. It's 2006, and Nick Irving is a fresh-faced recruit heading into Army boot camp. Now, boot camp isn't exactly a day at the beach. It's more like a marathon combined with a reality TV show, minus the cameras and with way more push-ups. Imagine Nick walking in with the same enthusiasm he had as a kid, but this time his playground is a grueling military training ground. Boot camp is where the magic happens, or in this case, the sweat, tears, and a lot of sore muscles. Nick went through the ringer, facing everything from obstacle courses that would make a ninja warrior jealous to drills that tested his endurance and grit. It's like a crash course in turning civilians into soldiers, and Nick was right in the middle of it. Let's not forget the uniforms, crisply pressed, perfectly fitted, and probably the most uncomfortable thing you've ever worn. Nick was no stranger to the drill surge's tough love, but he took it all in stride. From early mornings to late night drills, Nick embraced the challenge with the same energy he used to show off his sports skills. If there was a gold medal for perseverance, he'd have won it hands down. Now let's talk about the rifle, the tool of Nick's future trade. His first encounter with it was a mix of awe and whoa, this thing is heavy. But Nick wasn't one to shy away from a challenge. He learned to handle it with precision and skill, like an artist perfecting his craft. The rifle became an extension of him, and soon he was nailing those targets with his sniper's finesse. With boot camp under his belt, it was time for sniper school. This is where things got really interesting. Think of it as a PhD in marksmanship, and trust me, it's not for the faint of heart. Nick went from, hey look, I'm a pretty good shot, to wow, he's got the precision of a laser. The training was tough, rigorous, and demanding, but Nick was on a mission. Sniper training isn't just about hitting a bullseye from a mile away. It's about being able to do it in the most challenging conditions. Rain, wind, and even the occasional rogue squirrel couldn't shake Nick's focus. He learned to read the environment, adjust for every little variable, and execute shots with the kind of precision that would make even the most seasoned snipers nod in approval. Of course, it wasn't all about solo training. Nick bonded with his fellow snipers, forming a team that was more like a family. They faced the highs and lows of training together, shared jokes, and supported each other through the toughest drills. If you ever wondered if snipers have a special camaraderie, just look at Nick and his team. They were the definition of squad goals. Finally, the day came when Nick was ready for his first real mission. The adrenaline rush was palpable. Imagine going from training to actual field operations. Nick was about to put everything he'd learned to the test, and let's just say, he rose to the occasion with flying colors. His first mission was a mix of excitement, nerves, and the satisfaction of knowing he was doing what he was born to do. From boot camp to sniper school and finally to the field, Nick Irving's journey was nothing short of extraordinary. He took on every challenge with a smile, proving that with determination and skill, anything's possible. If you think you've seen it all, just wait. The next chapters of Nick's story are packed with even more action and adventure. Ready for more of Nick Irving's epic journey? Stick around, you won't want to miss a single moment of this thrilling ride. Nick's training and preparation. Before Nick Irving became a legend, he had to go through some seriously intense training. Think of it like boot camp for superheroes, minus the capes, of course. Let's dive into the rigorous preparation that turned an aspiring soldier into a top-notch sniper. Training wasn't just about hitting the gym and running laps. For Nick, it was about pushing physical and mental limits. From grueling drills to tactical exercises, every day was a test of endurance and skill. Imagine scaling obstacles while carrying heavy gear, all while keeping your wits about you. Sounds like a high-stakes video game, right? Well, it was Nick's real-life training ground. One of the standout aspects of Nick's training was sniper school, the ultimate challenge for any marksman. This wasn't just about shooting from a distance. It involved mastering stealth, patience, and precision. Nick spent hours learning to blend into his surroundings, making him a ghost on the battlefield. Picture this, a camouflage figure lying still for hours, waiting for the perfect shot. That's dedication, folks. But it wasn't all about physical prowess. Mental toughness was key. Nick had to develop the focus and resilience to stay calm under pressure. Imagine having to make life or death decisions with only seconds to spare. That's the kind of mental agility Nick honed during his training. Training also meant honing teamwork skills. Despite being a sniper, Nick worked closely with his team to ensure seamless operations. It was like being part of a well-oiled machine where everyone had to play their part perfectly. The camaraderie and trust built during these times became a foundation for Nick's success in the field. So the next time you hear about Nick Irving's feats, remember the intense training that made it all possible. It's a blend of physical endurance, mental resilience, and teamwork that turned a dedicated soldier into a modern-day warrior. From sniper to legend, Nick Irving's career and missions. All right, folks, gear up because we're about to dive into the thrilling world of Nick Irving's career as a sniper. Imagine the excitement of a blockbuster action movie, but this is Nick's real life, filled with heart-pounding moments, high-stakes missions, and the kind of adrenaline rush that'll make your pulse race just hearing about it. Picture this. It's 2009, and Nick Irving is now a seasoned sniper with the 3rd Ranger Battalion. He's no longer just any sniper. He's the one they call when the mission is high-risk, high-reward. Nick's first major deployment took him to the rugged terrains of Afghanistan, a place where every day was a new challenge, and every mission had the potential for danger. In Afghanistan, Nick was about to face some of the most intense situations imaginable. His first mission? Let's just say it wasn't a walk in the park. It involved navigating treacherous landscapes, working with a team that relied on him to perform under pressure, and taking on targets that required every ounce of his training and skill. It's like he was living in a real-life video game. Only this game had far higher stakes. One of Nick's most jaw-dropping missions was Operation Enduring Freedom. In the middle of this operation, Nick's sharpshooting skills were put to the ultimate test. He and his team were tasked with neutralizing high-value targets, the kind that required precision, patience, and a bit of daring. Picture Nick lying in the dirt, eyes locked on his scope, every muscle tense as he calculated the perfect moment to pull the trigger. Nick's approach to sniping was more art than science. He wasn't just a guy with a rifle, he was an artist of the battlefield. His ability to read the environment, anticipate the enemy's movements, and execute flawless shots earned him the nickname the Reaper. But don't let that title scare you, it's more of a badge of honor than a Grim Reaper's scythe. One of Nick's most memorable missions involved taking out a Taliban leader who was a significant threat to coalition forces. The mission was so covered that it felt like a spy thriller. Nick and his team had to infiltrate deep into enemy territory where the odds were stacked against them. The stakes, high, the tension, off the charts. Nick's expertise wasn't just about marksmanship, it was about adaptability. From moving silently across the desert sands to blending into the environment like a chameleon, Nick was a master of camouflage and stealth. He knew how to use the terrain to his advantage, turning every rock and shadow into a potential cover. Let's not forget the team dynamics. Nick wasn't a lone wolf, he was part of an elite team of rangers. These guys were more like a family than just teammates. They shared the risks, the victories, and the occasional dark humor to keep spirits high. Their camaraderie was crucial for survival and success. One standout moment in Nick's career was his involvement in the Battle of the Panjwai District. This battle was a real test of endurance and skill. Nick and his team faced fierce resistance and had to adapt quickly to changing tactics. It was a battle where every decision mattered, and Nick's contributions played a significant role in their success. Throughout his career, Nick accumulated a staggering number of confirmed kills, a testament to his exceptional skills and unwavering focus. But it's not just the numbers that define him, it's the stories behind each mission, the lives saved, and the impact he had on his team and the mission objectives. As Nick looks back on his career, he reflects on the challenges, the triumphs, and the incredible experiences that shaped him. From the adrenaline-fueled missions to the quiet moments of reflection, Nick's journey is a testament to bravery, skill, and dedication. It's a story of a man who embraced his role with passion and left an indelible mark on his field. And after all those intense missions, you might wonder what's next for a legend like Nick Irving. Well, transitioning to civilian life brought his own set of challenges and opportunities. Nick took his experiences and turned them into something new, continuing to inspire others and share his story with the world. From the battlefields of Afghanistan to becoming a living legend, Nick Irving's career is nothing short of an extraordinary. Achievements and legacy. The legendary feats that turned Nick Irving into a household name among military enthusiasts and beyond. We're talking about a career so packed with action and heroics that it could give any blockbuster a run for its money. Ready to be amazed? Let's go. First up, let's talk about the hardware. Nick Irving isn't just a sniper, he's a decorated sniper. We're talking Bronze Stars, Army Commendation Medals, and a ton of other awards that make his uniform look like it's been dipped in gold. These aren't just shiny medals, they're symbols of extraordinary bravery and skill. Each one represents a mission where Nick went above and beyond the call of duty. One of Nick's most jaw-dropping achievements was his role in the historic takedown of a notorious Taliban leader. Picture this: Nick, perched high above, spots his target through the scope. With precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker jealous, he takes the shot. And boom, the mission is a success. That single shot didn't just neutralize a threat. It had a ripple effect that impacted the entire operation. Nick wasn't just about pulling the trigger, he was a maestro of tactical genius. His approach to each mission was like conducting a symphony. He could calculate distances, wind speeds, and trajectories with such accuracy that it seemed like he had superpowers. And trust me, when your job involves taking out high-profile targets from miles away, superpowers come in handy. Now let's talk numbers. Nick's confirmed kill count is impressive, but what's even more impressive is how he achieved it. Each kill wasn't just about hitting a target, it was about making a difference in the bigger picture. His skills helped dismantle enemy operations, disrupt their plans, and contribute significantly to the mission's success. It's like playing chess, but with real-life consequences and way cooler gear. One of the most iconic moments in Nick's career was his involvement in the greatest sniper shootout in the Panjwai District. Picture a battlefield where every second counts and every shot could change the course of the battle. Nick and his team were in the thick of it, showcasing their skills and demonstrating why they were among the best of the best. The level of precision and teamwork on display was nothing short of legendary. But it's not all about the glory and accolades. Nick's legacy also includes the impact he made on his fellow soldiers and the military community. He was a mentor, a leader, and a source of inspiration. His experience and knowledge helped shape the next generation of snipers and soldiers, ensuring that his legacy lives on through those he trained and inspired. Let's not forget the book. Yes, Nick wrote a memoir titled The Reaper, where he spilled the beams on his experiences, challenges, and triumphs. It's like getting a VIP pass into the life of a sniper, with all the behind-the-scenes details that make his story even more gripping. The book not only shares his personal journey, but also offers insights into the world of military sniping that you won't find anywhere else. And then there's the speaking circuit. Nick's become quite the motivational speaker, sharing his story with audiences around the world. From military conferences to public events, he captivates listeners with tales of bravery, strategy, and the human side of war. It's like having a front-row seat to an epic adventure, complete with lessons on courage and leadership. Nick's impact extends beyond the battlefield. He's used his experiences to contribute to various charitable causes, support veterans, and advocate for mental health awareness. His dedication to giving back and making a positive difference is as remarkable as his military achievements. The legend of Nick Irving, a sniper's achievements and legacy are nothing short of extraordinary. From his decorated career and iconic missions to his contributions as a mentor and advocate, Nick's story is a testament to what it means to be a true hero. Stories from the battlefield. Let's take a peek behind the curtain of Nick Irving's battlefield experiences. You've heard about his impressive stats, but what about the stories that did make the headlines? Get ready for some exclusive tales from the front lines that show the human side of a sniper's life. One story Nick loves to share is about a mission that didn't go as planned. Picture this, a high-stakes operation where everything seemed to be going wrong. From unexpected obstacles to split-second decisions, it was a test of nerves and ingenuity. Nick and his team had to adapt on the fly, turning a potential disaster into a success. It's like watching a high-pressure drama unfold in real life. Then there's the tale of camaraderie. Despite the dangers, the bond between Nick and his team was unbreakable. There's a memorable story of how they supported each other through thick and thin, sharing laughs and moments of camaraderie even in the most challenging situations. It's a reminder that even in the heat of battle, human connection can make all the difference. Nick also has some lighter anecdotes from his time in the field, like the time he had to improvise a meal using only what was available. Think battlefield cooking at its finest. It's these small moments of humor and ingenuity that add a personal touch to his extraordinary experiences. These stories not only highlight Nick's incredible skills, but also the resilience, creativity, and humanity that define his service. They give us a glimpse into the real-life adventures and challenges that shaped his career. Nick's influence and legacy. As Nick Irving continues to make waves in civilian life, his influence extends far beyond his military achievements. Let's explore how Nick's legacy is shaping the world around him and inspiring the next generation. Nick's impact isn't just about his impressive resume, it's about the inspiration he brings to others. Through his book, speaking engagements, and media appearances, Nick shares valuable lessons on leadership, perseverance, and personal growth. He's not just a hero, he's a mentor and role model for many. His work with veterans and charitable organizations amplifies his legacy. By supporting causes close to his heart, Nick continues to make a difference, ensuring that his impact extends beyond his military career. And let's not forget the ripple effect of his stories. Nick's experiences serve as a source of motivation for those facing their own challenges. Whether it's overcoming obstacles or pursuing dreams, his journey offers valuable lessons and encouragement. Q&A with Nick. Answering fan questions. Time for a fan favorite segment, Q&A with Nick. We gathered some of your most pressing questions, and Nick's here to spill the beans. Get ready for some candid answers and insights straight from the legend himself. First up, we've got a question about his most memorable mission. Nick shares his thoughts on a particularly challenging operation and what made it stand out. It's a chance to hear his personal take on his most intense experiences.
He peeked back behind the corner, did something, came back out with the machine gun, and I watched it peek, and when it went down into him, it was clean. Like, I remember thinking, like, that was the cleanest shot I've ever had.
Next, let's hear about his favorite non-military activity. Turns out Nick has some interesting hobbies and passions outside the battlefield. From sports to creative pursuits, get to know the man behind this sniper rifle.
I didn't have much room, but I would practice out of my window, shooting BB guns and shooting the street lights out and shooting targets in my backyard.
And finally, Nick's advice for those aspiring to follow in his footsteps. Whether you're interested in the military or just looking for motivation, his tips and wisdom offer valuable guidance for anyone aiming to achieve their dreams. Thanks for tuning in for this special Q&A session. If you got more questions for Nick, drop them in the comments and stay tuned for future updates. Life after the battlefield. All right, team, it's time to shift gears from the battlefield to the bustling streets of civilian life. Ever wonder how a legendary sniper trades his camo for a business suit? Buckle up as we explore how Nick Irving transitioned from being a top-tier sniper to a prominent public figure, and how he's using his extraordinary experiences to make waves in the civilian world. Ready to dive in? Let's go. After a storied career in the military, Nick Irving could have easily kicked back, relaxed, and enjoyed a quiet life. But nope, this guy had other plans. His transition from active duty to civilian life was like watching a blockbuster sequel. Same awesome character, new adventures, and plenty of plot twists. One of Nick's first big moves after hanging up his sniper rifle was diving into the world of public speaking. Imagine this, Nick, the real-life action hero, taking the stage at conferences and events, sharing his jaw-dropping stories and leadership insights. It's like getting a behind-the-scenes past his military adventures, but with a motivational twist. Whether he's talking about resilience, strategy, or the power of teamwork, Nick knows how to captivate an audience and inspire them to reach for the stars. But wait, there's more. Nick didn't stop at just speaking engagements. He decided to pen down his incredible journey in his memoir, The Reaper. And let me tell you, this book isn't just a page-turner. It's a full-on roller coaster ride through Nick's life. From the intense moments on the battlefield to the personal struggles and triumphs, Nick's writing gives readers a front-row seat to his extraordinary experiences. It's like watching an action-packed movie, but with way more heart and insight. Now let's talk about Nick's foray into the business world. He didn't just rest on his laurels, he embraced the entrepreneurial spirit with open arms. Nick got involved in various ventures, including consulting for military and security firms. His expertise in tactics and leadership made him a hot commodity, and his clients got a taste of the same precision and dedication that made him a legendary sniper. And speaking of embracing new challenges, let's not forget Nick's work with veteran organizations. He's been a staunch advocate for supporting veterans and their families, working tirelessly to ensure they get the care and respect they deserve. Nick's dedication to this cause is a testament to his character, showing that his commitment to service didn't end when he left the military. One of the coolest aspects of Nick's post-military life is his role as a media personality. He's made appearances on TV shows, podcasts, and interviews where he shares his stories and offers his unique perspective on a variety of topics. It's like having a chat with your favorite action hero over coffee, only this time he's dishing out real-life wisdom and experiences. And let's not overlook Nick's commitment to giving back. Whether it's through charitable donations or participating in community events, he's been actively involved in making a positive impact. His efforts to support causes close to his heart show that even after leaving the battlefield, he's still on a mission to make the world a better place. So what's next for Nick Irving? Well, if history is any indicator, we can expect more groundbreaking ventures and inspiring stories from this incredible individual. Whether he's tackling new challenges, sharing his experiences, or advocating for important causes, Nick's journey is far from over. And we're here for all of it. Thanks for joining us as we explored Nick Irving's transition from the battlefield to the civilian world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into his post-military adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more fascinating stories. Until next time, keep reaching for greatness, and remember, life is an adventure, so make the most of it. Catch you later, and remember, the real action doesn't stop when the mission ends. It just takes on a new form.